What's up, guys? Episode 4 of the New Frontiers map, and we are already in March. That's because I simulated, and I need to share with you a few things. Before I get into it, if you haven't, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. It would make my new year, I'll tell you that. And although there's really no motivation for that, it's just a click. So that would be awesome. But either way, we are here on the New Frontiers map, and today we are going to be getting all of these fields put together. That's why I'm doing the plowing now. This needs to be plowed. Well, why? Because when I bought the field, I think it was like Space 10 on New Frontiers, even though their fields were in the boundaries of where I bought, it didn't include the fields. I found out that somebody else had owned the fields. I came out and seen that sugar beets was planted within the boundaries of what I thought were my land, so I had to actually buy these. So I bought all of the fields. How did I do that? Well, I sold the strawberries and the tomatoes. Now they're on selling, and the greenhouses are going pretty well. So that is the long-winded catch-up of what's going on. Now it's March 3rd right now. Tomorrow we can plant. I'm going to plant soy, and just to make money, some soybeans will go into the ground here, probably on all 3 fields this first year, just to kind of get going and kind of get some money, because we do need a little bit of money to make this farm grow. Now, continuing on here with the plowing, we're gonna, like I said, do all 3 of these fields. We will pick up the rocks from these fields again, and I don't really have a sell point yet because I don't think that the farmers market will take the rocks, so need to buy a selling point, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. We have about $29,000 to our name, and it's probably not going to happen tomorrow. So I'm just storing them over by the bin over there, where we're going to eventually be making silage here, and I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the rocks are over there just so that we can eventually buy a sell point and then probably make our own lime, or we can just sell it outright. Now, as far as the silage over there, yes, we were going to save this for sheep, for their feed, but it was over the winter. I'm like, okay, this wouldn't really be real that we could give that grass to them, so I'm just going to ferment it, and that's not real either, but I'm going to ferment that and put that into silage, and then we'll just sell it. That's not what I intended to have happen, but I couldn't find a silo that kept the grass, so there's a lot of problems over here. But the good news is we can figure them all out. I can figure them all out, and I can actually get to farming smart around here for once. Okay, now the plowing is done, and that means, of course, we have got rocks in our field. Now, I'm going to pick up the rocks because we don't have a ton of money, and we could use the lime later on. So I think I'm probably going to collect all these rocks so that I can make our own lime. That will help the fields. That will help my financial situation, because the financial situation around here not looking good. $27,000, that's nothing, and I'm starting to worry a little bit. Thankfully, we have the strawberries and the tomatoes that we can sell, because if not, I'm not really sure if we'd be able to afford to even plant or harvest anything. That's still a concern, even with how much we're selling. So it's really tight around here. Now, straight ahead, that is where we are going to get the sheep. I would like to get, and I planned on with that fence, getting a crazy amount of sheep, and that's because we can sell all the wool. It's sort of passive income. I mean, we'd really just have to mow every now and then, which, if you know this channel, we will mow, and it will look pretty good around here. So I'm noticing that, we're a couple months off from that, so I can't really get sheep until then, but it's okay. We've got a lot to do. We've got a lot to worry about over here. We've got 3 fields. This one, the one right ahead, and the one, if you can see, right beyond that one. I bought that one as well. We weren't taking care of that one when I first bought it, so that's a new addition. We will make sure that we collect some soy off of each one of these 3, and of course we could always mow and get the silage as well, and we've got the greenhouses. So I'm trying to have a lot of different poles in the water, that way we can catch some big fish, and I'm hoping that we're able to make a good amount of money here. Obviously, that's what we're doing it for, but I'd like to grow this place. Right now we sort of only have a trailer, which is over there on the left, and a bunch of greenhouses. So it's really not a farm. I mean, it is, but it's not the farm in the traditional sense of what this game wants it to be. So I would really like this series to be more about building that farm, building the outbuildings, actually owning our equipment, which would be nice. So if we could own our equipment, then obviously the lease, the price of the lease won't go out of our paycheck or our pockets every day, if I can talk. So yeah, I really do want to buy the equipment. I really do want to have some more animals, and sheep are obviously first, but I'm anticipating that that's not going to happen maybe until May or June, only because I don't know how fast this grass is going to grow, and I don't want to buy sheep food, especially if all they do is eat grass. Now, I'm just thinking, I don't know if they will eat the grass in the pen. I would imagine that they'd have a little there, but I'm not really sure. All right, so with all of the rocks collected, we put them all over by the grass bunker, as I said, and we'll have a good collection when we finally do end up utilizing all of those rocks. So I'm pretty happy that we're going to keep all that over there, because I could just scoop that all up and then we'll make a bunch of lime. Speaking of lime, that is what we're doing right now. All 3 fields are going to get limed, because that's what it's telling me that it needs to have happen. So we are going to lime these. Yes, I know that I'm grossly over liming, not in the field here. I get it. I just hate the corners. I don't know. It's just a personal preference of mine. I just really need the corners good, and I am not that precise of a driver. So going over a little bit more. So yes, complain I will about the price. However, I'll do something like this. We're going to move on. We are liming all of these fields, and then eventually we are going to plant. I don't know if we're going to plant. I would like to plant April 1st, which I think is tomorrow, which is, there are 3 days here in the month. I think that's what I have it set for. So if there's 3 days in the month, that will be tomorrow or the next day that we can really plant. It's obviously, the rain doesn't matter, but I'm trying to be simulation wise. I don't really want to go out there because of the mud. However, because of how far off we are, and because of how fast we have to have everything happen, I got a lime out here in the rain. And if tomorrow brings rain, then I'm going to have to plant out there as well. But yeah, also before I get out of here, the roleplay series is going on still. I still have to get it out, but I understand that. I'm still working on it. I'm trying to get these videos out and really just kind of focusing on a video a day. However, I do want to get to a role play a week, which would be really good for me. I think I'll be able to get there. I've got it all written out, and I should just be able to record it probably tomorrow and hopefully have it out Saturday or Sunday is the goal. If not, maybe it's sometime next week in the middle of the week. However, I do like to, release them on the weekends, so that's what I'm aiming for. Don't hold me to it, but that's what I'm aiming for this weekend, a new roleplay episode. Anyway, for now, this has been episode 4, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate all of the support. Going into this year, I really want to have a lot more videos out every day, so I'm really just trying to get more into a consistency thing. That's why the roleplay is kind of suffering a little bit, because that's the thing that takes the most amount of time. But it's also the most rewarding for me to release, so it's coming, I promise. Either way, guys, thanks for hanging out today. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one.